My goodness.
Adjusting the levels. Can you hear us, Larry?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Mark, for being the sound engineer.
Oh,
Okay, well, we are at 5:30, and so we'll call this meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission to order. We'll go through a roll call of the members present. Pat, it's
Present.
Yep. Okay, call them up.
Bradley.
Here.
Diefler. Diefler. Clark. Present. Genslinger.
Here.
Gerza.
Here.
Logan.
Here.
Luzak.
Here.
Cooley.
He had a conflict and is absent.
Trump.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, so we can take action. Does anyone have any conflicts of interest with anything on the agenda for today? Hearing none, we'll proceed. You've been emailed the previous minutes. Also, the previous meetings are available online for those of you at home or if anyone wants to go back. So
we need to approve the agenda first.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's approve the agenda as we have it today.
Move to approve. Second.
Melissa, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 And Larry, thank you. That is passed. Now, moving on to the previous minutes. Does anyone have any additions or corrections to the minutes? Motion for approval?
I'll move to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Here's a second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? Hearing none, minutes are approved. Review and comment proposed revision to the Mitchell Historic Commercial District. This has been proposed by the state, and it's lengthy reading that you have in front of you. Some additions, some deletions, being that the buildings are either no longer there or are no longer contributing due to remodeling. So I'll open it up for comments.
I think the best way to do it is just to walk through the whole
Okay.
document that we have, and the state has pretty well laid it out for
Yeah.
A good way to go through and say we agree with it, we don't agree with it. Background with it is, the state came and they gave us a draft of the whole document, what they were
Yeah.
thinking would do. They brought it back to the state after the comments that Liz took back from the state for what we had said. And then they came up with their draft, which you have in front of us, which there are some changes from what you saw originally that they came with. So we'll go through that whole thing. Originally, when we had the first draft of it, I sent out just letters to those that it was affecting within the district. This time I sent out letters to everybody within the district. So whether anything was changing or not, they still got the letter because they are part of the district. I had one person come in and ask, I'm part of the district? And I said, yep, okay. And that was that. Said nothing's changing. But I'd say we just go through it and go
Okay.
kind of a line item by line item for how it's going. And the first one, obviously you have the summary that goes with everything that there's really nothing's changed for that. Just going over the past narrative of everything. Really, when you get to it, the first one is going to be the 310 North Raleigh Street, the boundary increase. I know when we discussed it previously, it cuts through a parcel, and that's why the state wants to include it into it. The church had said that they would not like to be part of it because it could hinder them in the future for any additions for that. However, because it's a low profile single story addition, it's not historical at all. So they could do any additions, remodels, anything to that portion of the building without having to go through the SHPO process. The only thing that I noticed with this is actually the map, which is later on in it. in this document, which we can get to later, it goes through the parking lot, and it shouldn't go through the parking lot because then it's cutting through another parcel in half, which we don't want, which we're trying to stop. I have heard from the church that they do not want to be a part of this still. We have representation here from them. If you'd like to hear from them as well, I can answer anything that you have for me, but you guys can discuss this part of it with them as well. So,
Well, let's hear the comment. John, you're representing the church.
If you got a moment, I would do that. First, I just want to say that we ran this by our church council as well as trustees. All of them were against that. I think it's probably from past history, like what you were just talking about in terms of locking you in. But they're still adamant they want to stay away from that. We want our church obviously to stay in front of all of the historic pieces. Just wanted to give you a little quick view of that too.
Just to clarify very quickly on the pronouns. So
Yes.
the part you want excluded is the recent addition, and the parking lot you want excluded.
Yep.
Which side of the old,
Keep
I
it
think,
like it
Highland
is.
apartments,
Yeah.
right? And the church itself is historic, and keep
Yes.
that in. So
And I just want to give you an update on that. We just put in $256,000 to redo all of our stained glass. So if you want to show people what really stained glass looks like, it's awesome. And we went also within that, putting an exterior cover on it. You know, in the old days we used latex Lennox and stuff like that. And now this stuff is supposed to never fade. We will see. But it's a big project, and everybody's behind it. We want to stay in that vein, and I just wanted to let you know that that's kind of where some of the attitude comes. We want to keep our church like it is, obviously, and make it better and all that kind of stuff. But the other two properties, they just want to stay away from it. The other thing that comes about, for those of you that know that area, we've got a couple of older houses along that area. For us, it's a big deal, parking, and that's kind of where a lot of this started from some years ago. We looked at trying to buy the house that was up for sale on the corner, and we found out it was unhistoric, and everybody just bailed out. And that makes it pretty tough. When you're landlocked, you know, and we do have great parking lots around, but you really want to be in the proximity. The old adage is you never sell the parking lot next to your church. And that's the reverse of that works out. So, and as I was reading through this, that's why I was kind of wondering if anything has changed in terms of taking something that was on the historic and moving it off the historic. And that's just the question mark that I have for you too. You know, how would you ever be able to buy a historic house and move it or demolish it? I don't know. And I understand the heartfelt piece for that. You know, we're 1906. We've been here a long time. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I hope to do sometime is get back up into the bell tower. And you saw that we redid the bell tower. Great piece. How many times in the wintertime can you do that? It was just awesome. But within that, it would be nice to look at our neighboring area, and right across that street, there's the house on the corner. There's also the house right next to it.
the northwest corner,
Yeah.
3rd and Raleigh.
Yeah. And on those houses, the one house I worked with some people that were purchasing it. And so, you know, that's fine and dandy. The other house is a shambles. You can stand outside and watch the bats flying in and out.
That would be the one to the north, smaller house.
Yeah, right to the north by the alley, you know. And so you look at that and you hope sometime you can make it better. Literally, squirrels, birds, and bats fly in and out of there. And at night, it's a circus. And we're trying to keep them out of our church. So, anyhow.
Is that house occupied? The
Which
second house, a small one to the
Yeah,
north?
the small one.
It is occupied.
Yes,
By
it
people.
is occupied. And what are you going to do? You know? Yeah. Yeah, it's a little difficult, and so we're very vigilant about keeping our bats out, and that doesn't help when you got that kind of stuff going. So we're looking at the past, the future. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, when I was up in the bell tower years ago, I took a picture of the bell that's up there. It's 6 feet tall. Can you imagine how heavy that is? And on the faceplate, it says 1886. That's a long ways back. We were the 11th business, they called it business back in the day, to be incorporated for the state. We have real deep roots. So we want to kind of keep going where we can. And I understand where you're trying to take things and whatnot else, but like I say, I'm just the voice piece of the conversations between both of the boards. So,
Any questions for John? I just asked, the house on the corner, is that still carved into apartments?
yes, it is. And younger guy that I worked with on that, and I think they're doing okay and all that stuff. But that would be a question for future, maybe 20 years down the road. Would it be possible to move that? I don't know historically, if it's the building, if it's the portion of where it was, if the history of that. I see that kind of addressed in a backwards way here. So.
It's just been painted the last couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to fix it up.
Yeah. It was real rugged when I did the home inspection for it. They had so much gas coming out of their furnace that if anybody slept in the basement, they'd be dead. It was terrible.
I suppose that was owned by one of the prominent citizens.
Yes. Yep. And the reason I asked that, because that prominent citizen, from what I understand, had that other small house as a peace house, for them. And so that I didn't know if it transferred over.
Well, that was my understanding too, that it was a servant's house or a livery stable or
Yes.
somehow supported the main
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Personal opinion only, I don't think the significance of the location is there. As far as moving a house, there's a precedence of the Beckwith home that was
Yeah.
moved from
Beckwith.
downtown
Beckwith did that.
behind his building to the south side of town.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't see a problem with that. The house, if you got the money, you can move it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah,
as
we
far
looked at it. It's a big house. It's a big house.
yeah, members of the commission, if you have opinions on it, I can see the need for a parking lot. You also have one block west, the Episcopal Church, who has
Yeah.
no parking whatsoever, other than the library or
Yes.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
A good argument could be made, but it is sad to lose a historic, larger home.
Yeah.
But it's wood frame. So as time develops and you get a chance to purchase,
Yeah. Yep.
and I don't know what a future commission locally here or what the state would say, but
Hmm.
you've obviously explored the options and Mark, if you know, I don't think anything that John's talked about as far as moving the house, if they could, anything prohibiting that.
I don't know that at this time, but I want to bring it back to, we're talking about the
To state.
commercial district. That is
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into that.
Never
Yeah.
been in the commercial district,
Yeah.
right?
You
Just
bet.
Just
You
thinking
bet.
we kind of gotten off topic.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
Come back
Yeah.
to
So
So thank you though, and like I said, our hearts are in your direction. We just had a whole group that are saying, "Well, we don't want to get tied up."
John, is the 1978 edition, is that sitting on its own property?
Yes, that the education group. That's
Is
the
it a
one.
separate platted
Yeah.
property? And is
Yeah.
there a firewall between the two buildings?
Yes.
Okay.
Where's that line supposed to be? Because on the parcel map, it looks like it's all one.
Because that's the way that it is right now. They've combined their parcels into one lot, one
Yeah.
parcel. So it was lots 13, 14, 15, 16, except lot A, which I'm assuming is this portion
That
yeah,
the
right
city.
here.
Yeah.
So originally it was coming across
Yeah.
here, which could have been
Yeah.
on a parcel line through a parcel line,
Hmm.
but they combined the four of them into one.
Yeah.
That was my question. So it's sitting on one parcel.
It is
Yeah.
one parcel. It
So-
is 4 lots, but it's one parcel. That's where the state would like to put on, not split a parcel in two for their map.
And I'm sympathetic to that argument because from the planning and zoning side of it, just keeping things clean instead of having all this nuance built into our documents. So I understand where you guys are coming from. So this is a little tougher. This is the only
And it-
Yeah.
line in this property that's doing this. So
Yeah.
So the county combined them into one lot?
Well, Mark knows maybe a little more. on-
It wouldn't have been the county or the city. It would have
It's-
been requested at the time to combine it into one
Yeah.
lot from probably the church for taxing purposes or something way back in the day, or they were building across the property line, so they needed to have both of them as one parcel.
Yeah.
And now it's 4 of them, and so that's why it's been done for the 4 lots becoming one.
I kind of feel like they want it both ways. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you got to pick
Yeah.
one. And I don't know which
Yeah.
way you want to go.
Yeah. And yeah, I can see where you're going. We get to deal with some of those in our county stuff.
Has the church applied for any grants for your construction work that you've been doing?
No, and I talked about that to the people, because of the listing that they had on here, and they want to keep church and government completely separate.
Hey, I understand that.
So you try to anticipate the next question. So
Mark, is it a complication for us or for grants to have one parcel with 2 designations?
Possibly, I don't know. It could, but there again, this north portion is not historical
No.
at all.
Yeah.
So
that's
they can't go after any grants with that part, even if it's separate or combined to it.
Mhm.
There's no grant possibility for that section of the building.
Yeah, and I think they understand that.
I can't speak for SHPO, but it might actually keep you out of a grant situation for your historic building.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, I don't know.
yeah.
I'm sure it made sense to an accountant at the time,
Yeah.
whoever was paying the bills, but, well, I think you can cross that bridge when you come to it.
Yeah, and if we can do something in the future, but I think, like I said, a lot of the people that we talk to on the front end are thinking more of being chained to the federal government, all the things you've always heard from everybody else. And where do we go in the future? And just to let you know too, last year versus this year, and I shared this at city council last year, we had 1,100 more people attend our church service this year for last year. So there's growth there. That's good. We like that. So that's
Yeah.
also where we like parking. So all kinds of strange things.
Okay.
Super.
Does that answer your questions?
Yes, and thank you all for your good works. And we do love to have things taken care of. So sometime I'll get a picture of that bell and show it to you. It's awesome.
Cool.
Are there any ropes connected to it? Or is it-
Yeah, it's on a roller, and just unbelievable.
Could still be used. Or,
Yeah, it's used.
what is it?
Yeah, and really quite a deal when you think the horses pulled that up there. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. Are there any other comments on this parcel from the audience?
Not on the parcel, but whenever you would want to address it, since you brought up mixing build dates and one building, we do have a question about how you guys are looking at, or who's looking at
Come up to
the Carnegie.
Sounds good.
If I may, John, this is for Mark.
Oh, okay.
You were against.
Okay.
Just for a point of clarification, with this boundary increase in the current agreement written here today, this was written by what level? Is it written here locally, state? or
This is all from the state.
Okay, so this is Lisbon
Triple.
state level for clarification.
Yep.
So for no one's confused at home, if we as a board wanted to recommend a change to this from the state, how would we do that?
We just give our recommendation, just like they can. You should have, your church received a letter that had information that you can send off saying, we agree, we don't agree. I would send that to them so they have your comment with it. This board can do the same thing, except we'll just do it with our minutes, sending it off saying we agree with the increase, we don't
Okay.
agree with the increase. And what the state does from it at that level is out of our hands. It's just our recommendation to it, and they will either say, yes, we'll keep the boundary as it is, or no, we'll change it back. That's all that we can do.
Is that SHPO making that final agreement or final?
Yes, yes. Liz at the state office, and it goes to the federal for them to approve the whole thing. So I guess where it comes down to is, as this board, which way are you going to say you'd like to see it?
This board, but how much weight do we have?
We don't have any weight. It's just a
Thank you. I just wanted
recommendation.
someone
It's
to
a
say it out
recommendation,
loud.
yeah.
Just like planning and zoning goes to
Right.
city council, they do what they want.
So we should figure out.
Let's not be
Correct.
around.
Yeah.
We got some more to be.
No, actually.
But we can definitely,
Official vote, but we probably should give our opinions.
Right.
Mark can
Right.
note it.
yeah, well, we can even, if someone wanted to make a motion to request the state do whatever, that could certainly be done.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
have no
And it
issue
would go in
with
the
doing it
minutes
that way.
and we would be on record.
Be a clean way to do it.
I think that'd be the way to proceed on it. Liz, you want
Yeah, I can
to,
try my best here.
Mark can clean up the language for you, right?
I'll make a motion for the state to reconsider not including the addition to the north of the Methodist Church, since it has no historical value and based on what public input was provided tonight.
But retain the original church
But
building.
maintain the Methodist Church in historical proportion within the historical district. Correct.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Larry. Opposed?
Nay.
Now we have to go roll call.
Sorry.
Okay, now we go roll call. Read the roll, please.
Bradley,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Genslinger.
No.
Jerza,
Yes.
Logan,
Yes.
Luzak,
Yes.
Schwam.
Yes.
Okay, recommendation will be to go back to the way it was before. Okay,
Next parcel.
moving on to the next one, decreasing the boundary. This was shown before with the decrease in boundary, with the exception that Rocks is not decreased out of the boundary. They have kept that in. I don't know what their reasoning was, but when we discussed it last time, they said that she would try to take that out because she thought it'd be gerrymandering, and in this, it's not taken out of there at all.
It is a historic building.
Mhm.
Didn't we hope for this? I mean,
We did.
yeah, we asked for that.
It's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Your guys' was, we'd like to keep
We'd
it
like to
in.
keep it
She
in.
tried- And she
Made it happen.
obviously made it happen, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Fantastic.
So I guess if there be anybody that would like to speak to that or a motion for that, then I think that's the way you gotta go with it.
I would like to point that the building owner of this decrease did speak last time and was for this decrease. Just for the minutes to reflect that.
Hmm.
Not the Rocks building, the decrease of the blue buildings at Lawler
The
and,
apartments
Oh,
next door,
okay.
yeah.
and second. To remove the blue buildings in this picture that you see here.
The Central Hotel building.
Mark, do you need a motion on each one as we go?
I would say we do.
Okay, well, entertain a motion.
Is this on the rock building?
This is on the total boundary
Boundary
decrease,
decrease.
just of,
Correct, so that.
Everything listed
yeah,
on
everything
the,
listed on the
bill here.
screen right here.
I was gonna show them on the.
Yeah,
map
there we
real
are.
quick, so he knows where-
I can do that as well.
So this is.
I
this
guess the
boundary
motion
here.
then is to recommend general agreement with
So this is
their
where that is
assessment.
our-
That's my motion.
the
Okay.
Pin cushion, and this is all the gravel lots that got removed.
we have a motion and a second. Go ahead. If we have other questions or discussion.
I mean, if you want to make a motion to keep it in, you can.
You know, and the only comment I make is Central Hotel building is definitely deteriorating, and I would call it distracting. It is, however, probably the oldest commercial building in town since it was moved here from Fire Steel before the town. But it is not contributing.
It's been modified so many times.
Yes.
History that doesn't have the historical nature.
Yeah, there's no nature.
Yeah.
You can't tell it was ever a hotel or the original purpose, right? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor to accept these recommendations. Are we ready for a vote? Okay.
Check to see if there's anybody in the audience that wants.
Yeah.
to
Yes.
do it.
Anyone in the audience? Okay. And if anyone needs clarification on any of these, I think Mark had them up, and there is a list there. So, okay, all in favor of accepting these recommendations, say aye.
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 And any opposed? Passed unanimously. So we don't need the roll call.
No.
Next parcel.
Next is going to be additional documentation, and this will be for 208 and 210 North Main Street, changing from non-contributing to contributing. They've done some work in the past, since the 2013 when this was originally done for this district. And so now they're saying that the work that has been done on these two buildings is bringing them back into contributing nature as opposed to non-contributing.
Larry, is this your project?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Do
Yeah.
do you feel like it's contributing now?
I do. I do. They've restored some windows, repaired some brickwork, and cleaned up some of the oddball siding that was on the building. But yes, I think they're definitely more historically correct now than they were ever been that I remember.
Motion to recommend approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Comments from the audience?
Talking about Ebenezer.
Uh,
Old,
well, yeah.
Cherry Bees.
And Larison Drug.
Yeah, Cherry Bees would be, right.
The old Cherry Bees. Okay.
Those two buildings that we're
yeah.
in.
They're referred to here as a Becker building or Newberg,
Okay.
which goes back. It depends what area you relate to on them. Yes. It's a 50-foot wide building and a 25-foot wide building, I believe, on those. Okay. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, we're passed.
The next would be additional documentation for changing from conforming to non-conforming for 100 North Main Street, 118 North Main Street, and 514 North Main Street. There have been some modifications done to these three buildings that make them no longer a contributing in the historic district.
And I think we have pictures in your packet of, I know the first and main building, and I believe the other ones.
They are
I don't think we do have photos in the back.
Yes, they're just in
Yeah,
the back of the
they're in
packet.
the back of the
Oh,
packet.
if you
Yeah, they're in
got-
back.
Slide
There's
forward.
color pictures in the
Yeah.
back.
Gotcha.
I think Mark's bringing them up on the screens here in the room.
Or
So 100 North Main would be the flower shop that
Yeah.
you're
Right, the
seeing
flower
right now.
flower shop, unquote.
15 would be the new Morgan Law, the old Charlie Shoe Repair.
Shoe repair, right?
and
And
then
then Bradley's.
Bradley's.
And Bradley's.
Yep. So those three buildings would be the ones.
And this is changing from contributing to the Historical Society to non-contributing, correct?
Correct. Now, I do have a question on that, Mark, like the 100 North Main, the flower shop thing. Did they submit their plans to you and did they go through SHPO or I know they didn't come through us unless it was a meeting I missed.
Nope, they went through SHPO and SHPO approved them without having come to this board. Because I don't remember if they said that there was enough changes previously that had made them non-conforming at all, so that they were allowed to continue moving forward with these additional
Okay.
changes. As you're aware, Bradley's, that came to this board with the 11.1 review and then had to go to council for them to approve the changes to that.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, we can
And
without questioning their judgment on it. I don't know. And the 100 North Main, it was kind of a mid-century. It was about 1952 after fire destroyed the previous building. The significance of it, it was, I don't think, major. So, any comments? Motion to approve eliminating these 3 parcels.
I'll make that motion.
Pat, we have a second?
I'll second, yes.
Okay, Liz, thank you. And Jen, do you want,
Abstain.
Jen will abstain, from this one as the one building is hers?
Are you okay with it coming off?
Absolutely.
All right.
well, it's not coming out of the
It's
district.
just not,
It's
it's just not
contributing.
not contributing.
Not contributing.
Yep.
Still in the district.
Yes.
Still, yes, these buildings are still in the historical
not-
district. They are just considered
Right.
non-contributing. Mark,
Non-contributing.
do you care to provide a point of clarification?
No.
Fair enough.
In the notes.
Yeah, and we went through
It
a
is,
bit of,
no, it is a long packet. but
we
it
went
is
through a bit
there.
of a fight on 514 North Main, including going to national, and got the remodeling approved. So, it's done, and I think everyone's happy it's done. But so we have a motion, and we have a second, and we have an abstention. And I think we can just go ahead and take the rest of the vote. All in favor, say aye.
I-
Any
Aye.
opposed? Hearing none opposed? That is approved.
Next part, they have the inventory of all the buildings. And they have some asterisks for ones that have some changes, the contributing versus non-contributing, ones that have been demoed. But I would say they have a specific list in here. Once we get through everybody, for the following 5 properties, are still within the historic district boundary, but have been demolition. Those lots are currently vacant or used for parking. It's the 301, 303, 305, 307, 512, and 522. I don't know if we necessarily need to do any action on it. If we're doing it on other ones, we can just say we agree they've been demoed. I mean, it doesn't hurt because it is one of the things that they sent out for the changes within the district. So I think it's a good housekeeping thing to have.
Are
Probably.
they saying it was contributing or it now is contributing? Because that doesn't make any sense.
They were contributing. 4 out of the 5 of them were contributing
They
at
were
the time, and
contributing.
one wasn't. So that's what it was before.
Oh, I recommend we demo them then.
Except
Knock
for
'em down.
demolition.
I guess for clarity, we'll make that motion just to agree with the assessment.
Yeah.
That's the motion.
Okay,
I'll
do we have a
second his
second? Liz, second? All those in favor
Aye.
I
Aye.
and opposed? Hearing none? Passed.
The next thing that I noticed, which is going to go back to with one that we've already discussed previously, for the church. If you look at their map, so I would say we still make a motion or discuss this individually separate from your previous recommendation. Just in case they don't go with your recommendation, I think that this should be changed. If you look at the map here, they're going just to a common square box right here. They're including, though, they're coming straight across through this parcel now, 113, which
Parking lot.
it's a parking lot, and now you're splitting up a parcel that they just tried to undo by
They're trying to-
including. So it would be just them changing their map down, adding 2 more points. If they go with including it, if they don't go with including it, it would go back to it. But I would think that we want to have that within our minutes to show that we don't want to include that parking lot. At least that would be my recommendation.
Yeah.
To not include a parcel.
Okay. Can I move to do what you said?
Yes, you can.
Does that work? Okay.
Yep.
Do we have a second to the motion as stated?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion, questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed? Hearing none, motion is passed.
I guess any other discussion that you have with the proposed draft from SHPO?
We
No.
had an audience member that would like to speak to something. I don't know if you want to come forward now
Yes.
and speak to it.
Chuck, do you want to come up?
We spend a lot of time volunteering down to Carnegie, and I don't know whether we got this letter of information or not. We never discussed it at a meeting, so I don't know if we were sent one or not sent one, but we had no discussion on it. And after listening to some of what you're talking about previously, it brought to mind our edition from 1960, whether that messed up where we're at. Since you didn't send us a letter, or nobody said we had to change anything, I'm assuming it did not make any difference.
Good point.
We don't want to be changed, we want to leave it alone, but we also don't want to get caught with our pants down somewhere along the line here.
But you are in, the entire building is in.
It's currently, by looking at your map and stuff, or what I've always
Yeah.
seen before, it is completely in, yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, parcel 119 is within.
Yeah, so nothing changed. For,
So, okay, then we really don't have anything to talk about or discuss, we're good. That's all, I just wanted to make sure we're not gonna get caught about something we
Well,
don't know about.
You're safe. We'll let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah,
We'll hope no one ever brings that up if you apply for it.
there you go, thank you.
Mr. Oisman.
Yeah, we should be good.
I guess then,
Just weird.
Mark, it's not on the agenda. but-
Why did we go through all the getting people out of the district if they could just be non-conforming? What's the big deal? Should I?
they
Good
technically,
question.
if somebody wants to be non-conforming, there are legal bases that we could go at against them with it because they're not following the rules that are set forth in front of them. Some have been done without coming forward through the city for any building permits, and we haven't caught it, or stuff has just gone by the wayside over time. Complaint driven is a lot of it for a lot of this stuff. If someone sees that they're changing the facade of their building, then we'll say you can't do that and you have to go through this process. As you've seen on a lot of previous ones that have gone through city council the whole way, it gets approved anyway with them changing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't have a great answer for you because I don't have the,
I just don't want to have everybody coming in here and chopping up this district because they want to, you know?
so
They're still subject to the rules and regulations of the historic district. It's just that they're non-contributing right now. It doesn't give them a free pass in the future to just do whatever they want.
correct.
Now, if
Unless
you're outside
they're
of
out
the
of the
boundary,
district. That's
if
what I
you're
mean.
right, if you're outside of the boundary, then you can do whatever you want because it's your house.
But
your
the state
building.
requested this, like for Boyd's buildings to be taken out.
No,
of the
no.
dis- No.
There was an applicant within that boundary that requested it to get out of the district because they felt like it was going to be easier for them to be able to sell their lot and have it developed without having to go through the guidelines of SHPO.
Right, that lot there.
Yeah, the empty
Yeah.
lot now.
These right here.
And while we were at it, just added those.
Yes, because they didn't have any historic significance anymore.
Yeah, Mark, it's just in the paper last week, building right to the south of West 40. That's going to be redone into office.
Yeah.
And complete change of the roof line and everything. Does that impact us at all, or should it? Or
That is not in the historic district at all.
how they manage to avoid that?
It stops at the first building on Fifth right there.
Old
I-
little building.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the district.
That's my relative's building, Mark, from way back.
And the old sports bar.
Yeah, remember the bar.
Yeah.
That was before my time then, Chuck.
Yeah, before your time.
The boundary
Yeah,
line.
boundary ends right on the north side of Tara's building. Because
Hmm.
Tara came in when she wanted
Yeah.
to do a sign and do some changes to hers, she had to come in front of this board and had to go up to SHPO for some stuff, but that is the last building on the west side of the block.
Not a problem.
Strange. I don't know. I just shouldn't Swiss cheese this up at all, but
Well,
it's too late.
probably at one time the building was not contributing and it was taken out, and things change over the years.
Okay. Anyway.
And there are people when they develop, would rather not go through, and it's just hoops you have to go through. And, but at the very end of it, in South Dakota, neither SHPO or us have real teeth to stop a project.
Mhm.
So someone does something, they do it, and then it may fall in or out. But it's just hoops that we make people go through and make them spend time and money. So hopefully they see it the way we do or with our recommendations, but we don't have teeth to enforce that anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Review, you've been, in your packet was a review of the South Dakota open meeting law. There have been some changes. Mark and I discussed briefly earlier. The one we don't need a roll call with, like Larry participating by Zoom or by telephone. We don't have to do a roll call if we're all unanimous. If there is a no vote, then we need to do a roll call if any members are participating absentee. Other than that, it's a good law with good intentions. Sometimes does make things, we have to jump through a few more formal hoops than we otherwise might, but it's all for the good.
SDCL 12513 and 2025 required annual review of open meetings laws. And so what you have in front of you is the stuff that's published by the state's attorney for your review. I'm not going to read through all the slides. I feel that you are all competent enough to be able to read through the slides yourself. If you have any questions, we can definitely discuss them, but we just have to make sure notice is sent out 24 hours in advance, that if you have to recuse yourself, you do.
Post our agenda.
If we have to do a closed meeting, there's situations where you can go into executive session, but that follows codified law for your stipulations for that.
Since we don't have employees on this commission, we don't have to worry about that. So
The
no
brochure
HR
that they
issues.
gave as well.
I
So-
can't believe Justin's not here to go through this with us.
He thought very highly of this board,
Yeah.
that you guys were going to be able to do it yourselves. Yeah.
Should ask him.
Thank him for his vote of confidence. Yes, just do read it through. It has changed. Okay. Any public input or other comments to bring before the board? Otherwise, well, we didn't hit your 4 minutes. I'm sorry. We hit, we're at about 42 minutes, so we didn't do too badly. And I think otherwise it is dinner time. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
So moved. We have a motion and a second. We're adjourned.